The very early 70s in Northern Ireland, it was a time of chaos, destruction, killing.
Every day there were bombs going off and explosions. People were very, very frightened.
We had this terrible sense of helplessness.
We became used to it. It became our normality.
We were going through a time where we had lost our soul.
And there just seemed to be no way to break this cycle of violence. On the 10th of August 1976, a young IRA man was driving a car and he was shot by the army. And his car went out of control and it killed 3 of my sister Anne's young children, and she was dangerously ill.
I was the uncle of the children. I would carry the little coffin into the chapel. He was only 6 weeks old. And here in my arms was this young boy who, didn't get a chance to grow up like all the other young boys. Crystallised into that moment was the whole horror and injustice of war and conflict.
I felt deeply, deeply saddened by the absolute waste of human life and the senselessness of it all.
And it struck a chord with everybody, but particularly with mothers.
The sense of despair on that day was definitely the worst that I have ever felt in my life.
It just made us all realise that it has to stop. Somewhere along, but this has to stop. This can't go on. People come out on the street and said, no, we don't want this anymore.
That they came out in their thousands to walk for peace. We all came from the Falls Road to join with the Shankill, and we all walked up the Shankill together. The vast majority of the people of Northern Ireland didn't want the violence, and they wanted peace, and they wanted to be unified.
You had office workers, factory workers, mums, grannies, sisters, teenagers. This was totally cross-community, cross everything. We were just women, and we just wanted the violence and the killing to stop.
A lot of the women were very frightened to meet women from across the divide.
We received death threats, death letters, and our cars were destroyed.
It didn't deter, it made people more determined. I mean, the next week more people came out to walk because they felt we're not going to be stopped.
There was hope because we seen the true spirit of the people coming out to say we reject violence and killing and we want to work together.
I went from the hopelessness of the young Andrew in the coffin, and now all of a sudden there was new hope.
Even though it was born of tragedy, there was joy because you felt we're actually able to do something now.
The Trafalgar Square rally was the final rally and a wonderful celebration of people from everywhere coming together and saying we reject the violence and we want peace.
We have power, we have a voice, and our voice is never going to go away again.
Politicians who of course must help lead the people, But in order to build that support and to challenge violence, a key element of that is the civil community.
It's up to the people, it's up to civic society to bring about change based on fairness. The last resort is violence, and it's no answer. Gandhi proved that you can't have a revolution without violence. Martin Luther King proved that you can have a revolution without violence.
The peace people planted a seed of optimism in people that gave us hope that you could make a difference.